April 1912. The largest ship ever built crosses the Atlantic. Absolute luxury, perfect technology, total confidence. 4 days later, it vanishes. 1,500 people die. The world goes into shock. How did the unsinkable ship end up at the bottom of the ocean? How did the pride of human engineering become the greatest maritime disaster in history? What really happened on that cold April night? Using artificial intelligence, we're going to reconstruct the Titanic exactly as it was. Walk through its corridors, see its secrets, understand its end. We'll explore every deck, every decision, every moment that led to tragedy. This is the complete story. From the outside, the Titanic was a fortress of steel. 270 meters long, 4 giant funnels piercing the sky, 50,000 tons of weight, bigger than any building of its time. When it sat in port, people gathered just to stare at it. It looked impossible, like something that shouldn't be able to float. But the real story was inside. Stepping onto the Titanic was stepping into the future. First class lived like royalty. Grand staircases with French stained glass, carved oak panels imported from England, halls with gilded ceilings that reflected electric light. Restaurants serving French cuisine prepared by chefs brought from Paris. There was a heated swimming pool, the first ever on a ship, a gymnasium with the latest exercise equipment, a squash court in the belly of the vessel, a library with thousands of books in multiple languages. Private cabins had internal telephones, electric lighting that didn't flicker, hot and cold running water. Some suites had private promenade decks where you could walk in complete privacy. For the wealthy, this wasn't a ship. It was a floating palace. It was proof that money could buy comfort anywhere, even in the middle of the ocean. But the Titanic had 2 worlds, separated by locked gates and social rules that were never questioned. Second class lived comfortably by the standards of the time. Clean cabins with proper beds, decent meals served in dining rooms, reasonable space to move around. These were middle-class families, teachers, merchants, people with some money but not great wealth. They were satisfied. They felt lucky. Third class was different. Immigrants coming from Europe, fleeing poverty, seeking opportunity. Entire families in small cabins, sometimes 6 or 8 people sharing a room meant for 4. Tight corridors deep in the ship where sunlight never reached. The air was thick, the walls were metal, the sounds of the engine echoed constantly. They didn't see luxury, they saw hope. America was the destination, Titanic was the bridge. For many, this journey represented their entire life savings. Everything they owned was in a single trunk. Below everyone, deeper than most passengers ever went, was the heart of the ship. The boilers, the engine rooms, the coal bunkers, men covered in coal dust working in shifts that never ended. Extreme heat that made it hard to breathe. Never-ending work shoveling coal into furnaces that burned day and night. They fed the engines, they kept the ship alive, they made the dream possible. The Titanic didn't glide smoothly across the ocean like people imagined. It pushed forward through human force, through sweat, through labor that passengers above never saw or thought about. The ship was designed to be indestructible. The hull was divided into 16 watertight compartments with doors that could be closed remotely from the bridge. If 4 flooded, the ship would still float. The designers had run the calculations. They were certain. This created total confidence, dangerous confidence. The Titanic didn't carry enough lifeboats, only for half the people aboard. But this met the law. Regulations hadn't caught up with ships this large. Nobody believed they'd be needed anyway. Why would they? Because of this false security, the captains sailed fast, too fast, 22 knots through waters known for ice. Iceberg warnings came through the radio throughout the day. They were ignored or filed away. The Titanic was invincible, or at least that's what everyone thought. April 14th, 1912. Clear night, calm ocean, moonless sky. The temperature had been dropping all evening. Too calm. Without waves, icebergs became invisible against the dark water. There was no shimmer, no sound, nothing to warn of what was coming. 11:40 p.m. Frederick Fleet, the lookout in the crow's nest, sees something ahead. A dark shape, massive, close, too close. He rings the bell 3 times and grabs the telephone. Iceberg, right ahead. The bridge receives the warning. First Officer Murdoch orders hard to starboard, full astern. The ship begins to turn. But ships this large don't turn quickly. Too late. The impact is silent. No explosion. No terrible crash. Just a strange grinding sound that most passengers barely notice. Some wake up, feel a slight shudder, and go back to sleep. Others don't wake at all. In first class, a few people step into the hallway in their robes, ask what happened, and are told everything is fine. But beneath the water, the destruction is total. The iceberg doesn't punch a hole. It scrapes along the hull, bending the steel plates, popping rivets, opening seams. The iceberg tears through 6 compartments. Water rushes in with unstoppable force. The Titanic can survive 4 flooded compartments. It has 6. The math is simple. The ship will sink. The question is only how long it will take. Captain Smith and the designer Thomas Andrews inspect the damage. They go below, see the water rising, check the plans, do the calculations. Andrews knows immediately. 2 hours, maybe 3. Smith's face goes pale. He gives the order quietly. Uncover the lifeboats. Send the distress call. Wake the passengers, but do it calmly. Don't create panic. Orders are given quietly. Crew members speak in whispers. Lifeboats begin to be prepared. Passengers come on deck in their coats and life jackets, confused, asking questions. Nobody believes the real danger. Why would they? The Titanic is unsinkable. The deck is steady under their feet. The lights are still on. The band is playing. How could this massive ship be dying? Water rises through the corridors, first in the mailroom, then the cargo holds, then into the lower decks where third class sleeps. The bow dips slowly, so slowly most people don't notice at first. Boats descend with terrible slowness, the crew struggling with unfamiliar equipment. But there's a terrible problem. Many boats go down half empty. Boat number 1 has capacity for 40 people, but leaves with only 12. People refuse to board. They prefer to stay on the big, safe ship. Women don't want to leave their husbands. They don't trust the small boats bobbing on the dark ocean. Meanwhile, third class is trapped. Gates locked to prevent them from rushing the boats. Corridors confusing, a maze of metal passages. Signs in English that many cannot read. Many can't get up. Time runs out. The ship's design turns against itself. The compartments weren't sealed at the top. As the front sinks, water reaches the top of one compartment and spills over into the next, then the next, then the next. Inevitable domino effect. The designers never imagined this scenario. 1 a.m. The bow is clearly underwater now. The deck slopes visibly. Panic finally sets in. People rush toward the remaining boats. Officers draw pistols to maintain order. The band keeps playing, waltz music drifting across the tilting deck. 2 a.m. The water reaches the bridge. The forward funnel collapses, crushing people in the water. The stern rises higher. People cling to railings, to each other. Father Biles hears confessions. The wireless operators send their final message and abandon their post. 2:18 a.m. The lights flicker, burn bright, then go out. Complete darkness. The ship stands nearly vertical, hundreds of people still clinging to it. Then the sound, a terrible groaning of metal as the ship breaks in half. The forward section disappears immediately. The stern crashes back down, floats for a moment, then begins to sink. 2:20 a.m. The stern rises again, higher this time, pointing straight up at the stars. Then it slides beneath the surface. The Titanic disappears. 1,500 lives lost in water so cold that most die within 15 minutes. Screams echo through the darkness, then slowly fade. Silence on the ocean. The lifeboats drift in the dark, afraid to go back. Listening to the cries grow weaker and weaker until there is nothing. Dawn comes. The Carpathia arrives. They rescue 700 survivors. The world receives the news. Shock, disbelief, grief. The Titanic wasn't destroyed just by an iceberg. It was destroyed by human arrogance, by blind faith in technology, by haste, by the belief that progress had made humans masters of nature, by pride. After it, everything changed. Safety laws were rewritten completely. Lifeboats for everyone became mandatory, no exceptions. 24-hour radio watch became required. Ice Patrol was created to track icebergs. The International Ice Patrol still operates today, watching the same waters. Today, the Titanic rests at the bottom of the Atlantic, 3,700 meters down, silent, untouchable, slowly dissolving. But its message crosses time, crosses generations. Progress without humility is dangerous. Engineering without respect for nature is foolish. Confidence without caution is deadly. History doesn't forget, and we shouldn't either.